Good evening, everyone. My name is Sally, and for the reflex assignment, we had to watch four reflex videos that shows a baby with different reflexes, and we had to choose one of the video to talk about. And one of the reflexes that I decided to talk about is the ATNR. The ATNR is a primitive reflex, often described as the fencing posture. When the infant head turns to one side, the arm and leg on that side extend. And while the arm and the leg on the other side bend or flex. This reflex aid with eye-hand coordination and bilateral coordinations. Now, the second question is, when does it emerge? ATNR is present at birth and typically emerge fully by 1 to 2 months of age. It helps the infant become more aware of their hands, initiating early eye-hand coordination. When does it integrate? The ATNR usually integrates between 4 to 6 months of age. As infants gain voluntary control over their movements, the reflex fades, allowing for more symmetrical movement patterns, essential for crawling or reaching. When does it persist? ATNR should not persist beyond 6 months. If it remains active beyond this period, it can interfere with developmental milestones, particularly in coordination, balance, and the ability to cross the midline, essential for tasks like clapping or tying shoes. Implication and or complications if retained. If retained, it may cause poor eye-hand coordination, affecting fine motor skills and handwriting tasks, difficulty crossing midline, limiting the ability to perform tasks requiring both hands work together, postural instability, making it challenging to sit still or maintain balance. Difficulty with reading, writing due to impairment of horizontal tracking across a page. Now, implication or complication if integrated. If integrated, the child can move arms and legs independently and head movements. This is essential for bilateral coordination, allowing for gross and fine motor activities such as crawling, reaching, and grasping, and it is supporting visual tracking ability. How do we test for ATNR? So we would place the baby supine on their back, gently turn their head to one side. So now if ATNR is present, the side where you turn the baby head, the arm and the leg will extend. In the opposite side, where the back of their head is, the arm will flex and legs will flex. And this is how we test to see if ATNR is still present.
Asymmetrical tonic neck reflex. The asymmetrical tonic neck reflex is tested by carefully turning the infant's head to one side, which typically results in a tonic extension of the extremities on the facial side and a bending in the contralateral extremities. This reflex is also known as the fencing reflex because of its resemblance to the typical position of a fencer. The asymmetric tonic neck reflex is present at birth. Its purpose is to train muscle tone, hand-eye coordination, and balance. The reflex physiologically disappears after about 6 months of age.
Why it is important. ATNR is crucial for developing eye-hand coordination, establishing a sense of left and right, which later aid in motor planning, spatial awareness, and bilateral integration, where the person can use both sides of the body together. Relation to child development. ATNR assists with developing bilateral coordination, eye-hand coordination, foundational skills necessary for future activities that required both hands to work together. It also impacts the ability to cross the midline, which is critical for fluid movement across the body, essential for tasks such as writing and reading. Okay, so activities to target a concern would be, for example, you can lay the baby over in their tummy, encourage weight bearing through their arm and strengthening neck and shoulder muscles to promote balance and head control. Start with brief period, increase as the infant becomes more comfortable of doing tummy time. Also, other activities we can do to help target the concern, it would be gently turn the baby's head while laying on their back. You can gently turn their head to the side, and often put toys on the side of where their face are, like where their head turned, to encourage reaching for toys across the body, which helps counteract with reflexive response. Rolling practice, support the infant in rolling from back to stomach and vice versa. These help break up the ATNR pattern and develop trunk rotation and foundational skill for later bilateral coordination. One more activities we can do, and we can have the kids sit supported and while they're playing at midline. Once the baby sit with supported, place the toy at midline in the center, okay? And then we can encourage the kids to bring their hands at midline and playing together and reaching in front of them to help with visual tracking and bilateral hand coordination. These activities are gentle, engaging ways to help infant gradually integrate ATNR while building muscle strength, trunk stability, and coordination.